Hi, in this lesson we are going to practice an academic reading test together. Please download and print off the following attachments: the question paper and the blank answer sheet. It is very important in the exam not to open the question paper until you are told to do so. Please write your name and candidate number in the spaces at the top of the question paper and answer sheet. Okay, now let's read the instructions. It says, do not open the question paper until you are told to do so, which you already know. Write your name and candidate number in the spaces at the top of the page, which you should have already done. Then it says, read the instructions for each part of the paper carefully. Answer all the questions. Write your answers on the answer sheet. Use a pencil. You must complete the answer sheet within the time limit, which is 60 minutes, which again is something you already know. At the end of the test, hand in both the question paper and your answer sheet. Once you have read these instructions, we will begin. So first we have the reading passage 1. It says you should spend about 20 minutes on questions 1 to 13, which are based on reading passage 1 below. You should be feeling quite confident at the moment, as you already know from the previous video that you should spend 20 minutes on each section and that there are 13 questions in section 1, the first text. Now try to remember what else I said in the previous video. I said, my top tip for the reading test is to only read the title of the passage so that you know what the text is about, and then go and read the questions. Underline any keywords in the questions and then scan the text for the answer. So go back to the question paper and read the title of the first passage. It's called Making Time for Science. Now go to the end of the passage and look at questions 1 to 13. Read question 1. It says, do the following statements agree with the information given in reading passage 1? In boxes 1 to 7 on your answer sheet, write true if the statement agrees with the information, false if the statement contradicts the information, or not given if there is no information on this. Let's look at number 1. Number 1 states, chronobiology is the study of how living things have evolved over time. Now that you have read the question, you need to underline any key words. I would underline chronobiology, living things, and evolved. Once you have underlined these, go back to the beginning of the passage and scan the passage for these words. It should be in the first paragraph. If you read it, it says, chronobiology might sound a little futuristic, like something from a science fiction novel, perhaps, but it's actually a field of study that concerns one of the oldest processes life on this planet has ever known. Short-term rhythms of time and their effect on flora and fauna. Therefore, we can see that statement number 1 is false. Quickly go to your answer sheet and write false for the first answer. Then go back and read statement 2 in the questions. Statement number 2 says, the rise and fall of sea levels affects how sea creatures behave. Underline any keywords. Here I would underline rise, fall, sea levels, and sea creatures. Again, return to the passage and scan the text for the answer. A quick tip is that answer 2 should appear after answer 1 in the text, so there is probably no need to read paragraph 1 again. If you read it, it says, this can take many forms. Marine life, for example, is influenced by tidal patterns. As sea creatures are marine life, then statement number 2 is through. Again, go to your answer sheet and write through for the second answer. Then go back and read statement 3 in the questions. Statement 3 says most animals are active during the daytime. Again, underline any keywords. Here I would underline animals, active, and daytime. Keywords are words that are key to you finding your answer in the passage. We underline them so that they will focus your mind when you go to search the text for the answer. Again, return to the passage and scan the text for these words. Answer 3 should appear after answer 2 in the text, so start reading from where you got answer 2 from. It says, animals tend to be active or inactive depending on the position of the sun or moon. Numerous creatures, humans included, are largely diurnal, that is, they like to come out during the hours of sunlight. It doesn't actually say. So again, quickly go to your answer sheet and write not given for the third answer. Then go back and read statement 4 in the questions. Statement 4 says circadian rhythms identify how we do different things on different days. Again, underline any key words. Here I would underline circadian rhythms. Then return to the passage and scan the text for these words. When it comes to humans, chronobiologists are interested in what is known as the circadian rhythm. This is the complete cycle our bodies are naturally geared to undergo within the passage of a 24-hour day. Students often feel like they are being asked trick questions. Once you find the words in the text, I would recommend comparing what you are being asked to what is in the text. So read the statement again and then read the relevant piece in the passage to try to determine your answer. We can see that statement 4 is false, as circadian rhythm is the complete cycle our bodies go through in a 24-hour period, not how they do different things on different days. So, statement 4 is false. You need to go to the answer sheet and write under the fourth answer that statement 4 is false. Then go back to the question paper and look at number 5. Statement 5 says a night person can still have a healthy circadian rhythm. Again, you need to say whether this statement agrees with the information given in the reading passage. So first, underline any keywords in the statement. I would underline the words night person and healthy circadian rhythm. Then, return to the passage and scan the text for these words. Not everyone has an identical circadian rhythm. Night people, for example, often describe how they find it very hard to operate during the morning, but become alert and focused by evening. So we can see from this that statement 5 is true. So go to your answer sheet and write true for the fifth answer. Then go back to the question paper and read statement 6. Statement number 6 says, new therapies can permanently change circadian rhythms without causing harm. So firstly, underline any keywords in the statement. I would underline new therapies and permanently change. You are underlining keywords to focus your mind when it comes to scanning the text for the answer. Okay, now return to the question paper and scan the text for these keywords. Remember that the answer will appear after the answer from number 5. So you do not need to read anywhere before this. It says, scientists have limited the abilities to create durable modifications of chronobiological demands. Recent therapeutical developments for humans, such as artificial light machines and melatonin administration, can reset our circadian rhythms, for example, but our bodies can tell the difference, and health suffers when we breach these natural rhythms for extended periods of time. So we can see from reading this section that statement 6 is false. So quickly go to your answer sheet and write false for the sixth answer. Then go back to the question paper and read statement 7. Now let's look at statement 7. Statement 7 says, naturally produced vegetables have more nutritional value. Again, underline any key words in the statement. I would underline naturally produced vegetables and more nutritional value. Now return to the passage and scan the text for these keywords. It says that studies demonstrate that vegetables grown in season and ripened on the tree are far higher in essential nutrients than those grown in greenhouses and ripened by laser. So we can see from reading this that statement 7 is true. So on your answer sheet, write true for the 7th answer. Then return to the question paper. Okay, now let's look at questions 8 to 13. For questions 8 to 13, it says to choose the correct letter, A, B, C, or D. Write the correct letter in boxes 8 to 13 on your answer sheet. Okay. Question 8 says, what did researchers identify as the ideal time to wake up in the morning? A, 6:04, B, 7 a.m., C, 7:22, or D, 7:30. Again, underline any keywords. I would underline ideal time, wake up, and morning. Now go back up to the passage and scan the text for the answer. Remember that the answer to question 8 will be after the part where we found the answer for number 7. So you only need to read from this point. So if we read from this point, it says, knowledge of chronobiological patterns can have many pragmatic implications for our day-to-day lives. While contemporary living can sometimes appear to subjugate biology, after all, who needs circadian rhythms when we have caffeine pills, energy drinks, shift work, and cities that never sleep? Keeping in sync with our body clock is important. The average urban resident, for example, rises at the eye-blaring time of 6:04 a.m., while researchers believe to be far too early. One study found that even rising at 7 a.m. has deleterious effects on health unless exercise is performed for 30 minutes afterward. The optimum moment has been whittled down to 7:22 a.m. Muscle aches, headaches, and moodiness were reported to be lowest by participants in the study who awoke then. We can see from the text that the ideal time to wake up in the morning identified by researchers is 7:22 a.m. So the answer is C. On your answer sheet, you should write the letter C for the 8th answer, then return to the question paper.